Tonight, we're investigating 5 scary videos that will send chills down your spine. I wouldn't recommend watching this alone. If you enjoy binge watching the creepy, scary, and mysterious side of YouTube, well, that's what this show is all about, and I upload once a week. So put the subscribe button underneath your pillow and let the dark energy simmer. Now, pay attention to when the activity starts, because what these things are, well, that's the part that nobody can really explain. This first eerie video comes from a Reddit user who posted it online, and they were pleading, asking for help to figure out what exactly is going on in this footage. Their young daughter kept on bringing up to her parents somebody that she was talking to within the room that nobody could actually see, and she kept referring to it as him. If you look very closely or scrub over the video a few times to get it just right, you can very faintly but noticeably see a very unsettling figure in one of the dark back corners of their bedroom. Some people have gone as far as even taking screenshots of the few frames that we can see this figure in the footage and have explained it to be, well, facial features. Really creepy, almost like a demon's face that could be smiling or making some sort of expression. Some people have thought it to be a ghost or a spirit, suggesting things like even going as far as the person should declutter their bedroom because ghosts, spirits, and other entities alike, that's where they go. They tend to lurk in the most crowded areas of a room, places that they can hide without being found. When I was analyzing this footage on my own, it really did seem like this was a person, but a figment of a person, and they are indeed watching the filmer on the other end of the room, but they're not ready to attack. It's more like they're watching them and feeding off of their fear in some sort of manner. The next time you feel like something is a little off in your room or your home, you might want to take a second and put the phone down and look around and make sure that something like this isn't indeed watching over you from one of your dark corners. Back in 2009, this incredibly disturbing video surfaced, and I regret finding this one. It shows that there is indeed the possibility that something from the afterlife on the other side of the realm is probably trying to break back into our own reality. You can tell that whoever's filming this started recording and they were in a deep sense of panic, trying to get to the bottom of what is going on in their home. The user even described that he and his wife were startled awake in the middle of the night because in another room across the house, they heard a door slamming very hard shut, hard enough that it made a loud enough sound that they knew something or someone was within the privacy of their house. He gets out of bed to go check it out, but as he approaches the very door that he heard noises coming from, well, something really strange happens. The doorknob to this door, it starts jittering, shaking, and turning, like as if something on the other side of it is trying to turn the doorknob and claw its way out into the room.
I don't know if everybody can see this, and I've done it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting the hell out of here.
Even as he opens it and shuts it once again, and he does this repeatedly because he's not understanding what's going on here. It's some sort of bizarre phenomenon. Even as he closes it multiple times, the doorknob, and he even shows the latch within the door that keeps it shut does indeed continue to shift back and forth all by itself, and clearly there's nothing on the other side inside this coat closet. But nonetheless, as he closes it for the last time, it continues to jitter and turn as if something is trying to communicate with him, trying to get through into his house. There is nothing inside the closet that could be turning this doorknob as aggressively as it was jittering. There's no draft in the house. There are no family members or friends inside trying to play some silly prank on him. It's just him and the dark energy on the inside of that door. It's one thing to see an entity across the room and know that you're not alone, but to actually have a physical presence that you cannot interact with, but it can interact with you, well, that's a moment that no one wants to face. It was around Halloween in October of 2010 when someone captured footage of what seemingly was a very ordinary night of a home video while walking through their kitchen. Since it was the middle of the night and everything seems calm and collected, maybe they had just gotten up to get some water or a snack and were ready to go back to bed. Everything seems normal, nothing weird yet. That is until the woman behind the camera notices that the fridge door is already wide open, so she begins calling out to a person named Jesse, telling them that they forgot to close the door shut behind them after they had gotten whatever they wanted out of the fridge. And when they called their name,
Jesse, you left the fridge open.
it shuts by itself, and aggressively, with intention, like as if something is in the room with her. But that is when questions of reality begin, because it's not just the fridge door that closed deliberately like shown. Everything else begins wreaking havoc and chaos in the kitchen as well. The kitchen cabinets, as the woman turns the camera, they start opening by themselves too.
What's going on? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And whatever is in them starts flying out onto the counter, and it's just a whole mess of a video. Too much is going on to really tell what is causing these actions for inanimate objects to move on their own. The woman behind the camera filming the video understandably then starts freaking out. She doesn't know what's happening or what could happen next. She's headed towards the front door, and she pans the camera in that direction, and it looks like she's almost about to run out of the house, but then the video just ends. Darkness. Abruptly. No explanation. The clip is now nearly 15 years old, and we haven't heard from them since. There's the question of what was in that house that they couldn't understand that was making things move around in ways that we have never seen before. In January of 2011, a person uploaded footage also from within his own kitchen as well. He had explained that the kitchen cupboards and other objects within the counter space, well, they had been moving and opening regularly. This is not the first occurrence, and this time he wants to get recording of it. This time he is ready. He just pulls out the camera and he just waits. He waits for things to start, as he knows that they will. And almost as soon as he starts recording, just a few seconds of standing there, it begins. Objects start flying, and they don't stop. It just gets worse and worse. It's cups, it's drinks. Everything that was on the counter space is literally flying down to the floor, not just falling over, as a natural occurrence would be. Something was pushing these objects down. They even had a chance to record yet a second video, still in the area of the kitchen, But this time it has nothing to do with the kitchen. This one is a little bit different, and it's even more terrifying. This time, they're aiming the camera at the opposite side of the room, towards the curtains, where we can see that there's a large window, and without looking through the whole window, there's something behind the curtains, and it's shifting right behind them. It's messing with the curtains. And then the camera pans down to a side table, and there is a bag with maybe some sort of food inside of it, and that bag starts shifting on its own. It's almost like there's an entity, some sort of presence there that is trying to pick up the bag. But then we can see that it's being pushed down. There's some sort of presence strong enough to be moving across the entire side of this room. Was the house responding to his fear, feeding off of it, and getting stronger inside of the home? Or was it maybe an invisible entity of a being that we cannot understand? This one begins as a casual night vision camera angle, possibly a surveillance camera or a baby monitor, and on the bed we can see there's a little cute cat, and the cat's asleep maybe, taking a nap, relaxed, not expecting what's about to happen. Just within a few seconds, what was once a cozy, calm moment for this cat that was fast asleep turns into something much, much worse, and the cat is in danger and doesn't even know it yet. If you look very closely on the top right corner of the footage, well, on the dresser, you can see that a doll is set, placed, rested on that dresser, but the Annabelle doll, it actually starts moving. Its right arm starts waving back and forth, almost like it's trying to say hi. It's trying to talk to the cat. And it doesn't stop there. Whatever kind of entity or energy is within this room, it starts getting even more aggressive. And it's not just the Annabelle doll that is communicating its presence. Even a teddy bear, smaller but still on the dresser that was on the Annabelle doll, that actually falls over on the dresser, and that's what gets the cat's attention and wakes it up. And that's not it. Even other things on the other side of the dresser, like the lamp, it starts flickering. It starts glitching in electricity, turning off and on rapidly. Not like there's an electrical shortage in the room, but like something is trying to interact with the lamp and communicate that it is indeed in the room. So the cat gets up, is startled awake, jumps onto the dresser, and starts surveying the area, trying to see what is going on and if it can sense anything. But it's too much going on. There's too much to see. The repetition of multiple objects moving all on their own, which is what got the cat's attention, well, that's creepy. But the light, all of this combined, that feels intentional. There is indeed something in that room that is trying to communicate with this animal, and it can hear it loud and clear because this cat looks pretty startled throughout the whole footage, and I mean, I would be too. If you saw an Annabelle doll waving at you, how would you take it? Some people, some of you, might dismiss these clips of footage as maybe a simple draft or a wire that is connecting all of these objects and their movements, but there's no denying just how intentional all of these inanimate objects or places around the houses that are communicating through the camera. It really does give the visual evidence on the concept that there is some sort of energy or thing that is on the other side, which we cannot see, that is trying to break through and tell us something that we cannot yet understand. Even though we can't see the entities or beings that are in these videos, well, we can definitely feel and interact with them, and they surely can indeed see us. If you stayed until this point in the show, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload on this channel, and watch this video here.